Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And it's Monday, and I press live, and it worked. Hooray! Oh, it's good, isn't it? It's good. Wow, we've got a full house tonight. We have 10. I think that's all we can have is 10 in this one, so which is really good. We've got Alex, John, Alec. We've got Ms. Modeler. We've got Fenris Model, Sully, Matt, Captain VFC, Warex, James, Mod Officer, and James to boldly go. All in the chat. And some are working on their bench, and I'm looking at a screen, but I might nip over to the bench in a bit because I did build. Well, guess what I built this week?
A banana.
Oh, a banana.
You built a bear at Build-A-Bear Workshop.
Build a bear workshop. That's close. Nearly there.
A pig.
I built a bear cat. There you go.
Yeah.
There won't be a video. Well, I'll put the light on. There won't be a video on it because it was just one of those builds where I just sort of just get on with it. And I've had the fuselage glued together for months because it was a bit of a to see what they were like. But I would like to say, if you don't care about cockpit detail and you want a mojo build, actually, in fact, it's this one here. This one here. If you want a mojo build, that is there. If you added some paint to it, some brushes and a glue, it would almost be the perfect starter set.
And a cockpit interior and some other details.
There's nothing wrong with it. It has got a decal sheet that doesn't fit that you have to like wang about. But to be honest with you, I think it went together really, really well, and I'm extremely happy with it. I'll put the pictures up online, but
it looks good. It's good. I like it.
It's when it like that, underneath.
And how much does that set you back?
I think it was £8. £8.
And that's the easy assembly ones.
That's the assembly authentic kit.
Yeah. I really do enjoy those kits as quick little builds. They're really nice. I mean, despite
they are
having
cracking.
Yeah.
I did buy another one somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it, but it's got a different scheme on it, unfortunately. But there it is underneath. There you go. This is the other one I bought from Amazon this week. Got a different scheme to it. So there's so whether they've got there's the FB1 and FB2.
I have a different tail.
Different tail, is it?
Yeah, they should have the
FA2
should have a taller tail.
It does look in the picture.
Yeah,
does it?
It is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got. Well, it must be a different fuselage.
Interestingly, the old monogram one is neither. It's somewhere in the middle.
Well, I'm guessing then they must have different parts to it then.
Yeah.
Right. Or they've got an added bit to go on because the fin comes together, the tail comes together at the end. So let's have a little nosy. I think it's the same size, but I could be wrong. But anyways, how is everyone? Let's go to Sully. What are you building at the moment then, Sully?
I'm still finishing off my Harrier. I'm actually going to do it.
Right, let's move on to Alex. What are you doing?
Because it hasn't got a fucking bird's nest in it. I'll get in there first tonight. No, I'm just finishing off my Harrier. I'm going to do a little bit of paint work on one of the wheel legs. But I'm going to start something else in a bit. But I've just been doing the grimy, weathery bit in the middle because I don't know what that's from. So, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. Pretty happy with it. The only issue I've done at some point, because I was going to have the canopy open, I might still, but the little sort of ladder piece that slides from out just inside the intake there, I somehow at some point snapped it off and have no idea where it is.
Oh, that's a pain when it happens.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and scratch build it. If not, I'm quite happy with the canopy closed. Doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What jig is that? Have you got there? Is that is that like a 3D printed one, or is that a wooden one?
No, it's acrylic actually. Well, it was. because I just used to paint everything on.
Yeah.
I for life of me can't remember. Vertigo apparently. I got it off eBay. I know it was from Australia, but that's all I can remember from it. I bought it during lockdown.
That's quite tidy. That I prefer them
Good.
ones. I prefer the T ones to the cross ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
in some ways, it's quite good to have the tail support, but for the majority, this one's been the only sort of issue because it just hasn't really got anywhere good to sort of balance it, really.
Yeah.
But when I do normal aircraft, like your classic sort of stuff, perfect. It's great for it. Sits down. Great for putting decals. As you can tell, I use it all the time for painting mainly.
Yeah.
Just somewhere it's just easy to rest it rather than trying to manhandle it,
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So let's move on to Alex, my podcaster in my
crime.
What do you call it? Podcaster in crime, I suppose.
Probably.
Is it?
Your co-host.
My co-host. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
actually, Alex is in charge. I just chat shit and get banged, really.
So your boss then?
Yeah. I'm going to say is I just talk. This man here does all the episodes, all this. He plans it all out. He's incredible. He's an absolute diamond, and it's been a real pleasure working with you, Alex. To be fair,
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Editing the episode. Actually, I was just finishing up before we went live. So next episode 3, should be live sometime this evening.
Yeah.
Possibly before midnight.
And what's it called? What do we talk about again? Because it's like a blur to me.
We spoke about starter sets.
We did.
Whether they were any good.
And that was when I said that we need to start recognizing that with Airfix, that Humbro and Airfix, you cannot judge Airfix by the paint brand. And I made quite a big point about it in that.
I think you said some things you might come to regret about Humbro.
No, actually, after we're going to go into paints anyway tonight because I think they've cracked it, but we'll talk about that later anyway. But
now there's no take backs, Moss.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. But are you working on anything at the moment?
I'm working on another Spitfire.
Ooh.
It's a liquid. So
that's one of Audi's best sellers, you know.
Is it?
Yeah.
It probably came from Aldi, to be fair.
Yeah.
But nothing on the workbench at the moment.
Okay.
I started work last week, and I've got a 6:30 start tomorrow. Got a full day training, so yeah, nothing on the workbench right now.
No, got to be retrained. Retraining required. Fantastic.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, though.
No, I guess that. I'm going to nip over to John Alec because that's got me. Look at that. Now that is that decals or is that paint?
So this is paint, and so what I'm doing here is this is the Rodin 132nd Albatross. What is it? The D3 or something?
Yeah.
So I've basically what I'm doing here is what I've already done here. So I've mastered off and painted it.
What blue masking tape's that, my friend? Is that the 3M version?
I forget who it. No, it's an off-brand, but it's a half inch. So I did the measurements on the instructions, right?
Yeah.
And then I measured the wing, and then measured how thick the stripe was, and then measured this wing, and then I was able to. It's a half inch. So 12 millimeter.
Wow.
And so yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just kind of sitting here masking this. I have to do the same to this. It's going to end up looking like an ice cream cone when I'm done.
I was going to say, yeah. Your country needs you, sort of look, isn't it? You know.
So you can camouflage it outside a barber's shop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The camo. It's like they painted their World War One. Their planes like the lead planes in the bomber groups from the British, especially the American Air Forces. There's always that clown plane. Yeah.
The formation
designs were.
aircraft.
Pretty crazy. So yeah, that's what I got going on.
Do you feel like you're going insane from masking yet?
Yeah, so I did this like a week ago. So I waited a week, and I thought I'd tackle the underside now. So yeah, it was a bit tedious.
I can imagine. Can I just say that just looks absolutely spot on, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It just looks absolutely spot on.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So then, Lexi, talk to me. Hello. She's. I bet she's. Were you eating something then? Were you? Do you have like a cream cake or something in your mouth?
No, I've eaten my food now.
You've eaten your food. Fair play. What have you got on the bench this week?
Well, I just finished my Lancaster yesterday, so that was a whirlwind of 24 hours building that.
Wow.
And then I've got about 4 things that are half done, including the bloody owl. That's this week's task to get finished.
Fair play.
But not today, I'm too tired.
Tired today, is it?
Yeah, I've had an hour's sleep, so I'm going to bed in like probably about half an hour.
Fair enough. Moving on to Rorex. Rorex.
Hello.
Wow. What's up in your building?
One of everything.
Ring.
I got also albatross.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
On a stick.
On a stick.
Yeah.
Like a lollipop.
What brand is that one?
I don't know. Something. I got a lot of. It's Revel, so probably crap. I got a nice.
Oh, if it's the Revel 148th, it'll be Edward.
No, it's the 172nd.
Ah, okay.
My links is going quite okay-ish for the piece of plastic that it is. I just started a Phantom, and I'm in the middle of doing the decals for Focke-Wulf 190 and a Stuka, and I just finished the blender.
Ugh, that looks so good.
It does, doesn't it? And that's all hand painted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing.
So happy with this one.
It looks so good.
It is excellent.
With some nose art, but it's too far away.
And how old was that kit? You told us how old that kit was?
68, 7, 3, something like that. It's the old kit.
That's incredible. Well done. Right.
And the Lancaster is up from the stash, so I'm going to start on that one as well.
Rorex definitely has the highest density of models per workbench area of any of us, I think.
I don't agree.
I love that desert Focke-Wulf camouflage.
Yeah, I do like that. It's really nice. Fair play. Very nice indeed. Right.
I get overwhelmed by one model kit, let alone like 5.
I know, I get confused.
It stresses me out.
Right, Matt, what are you building?
Oh, hi. I'm building a hawk.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you're going to do both?
Well, there's no point buying a duo and only making one, so yes, I will. I needed something new to start because I finished that helicopter, which I can actually reach for. Helicopter.
All done.
Yeah, I got bored with it. There's a couple of minor things I could do, but sod it.
There's some bits on the front that shouldn't be there.
Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
What is that?
What is that? There's even supposed to be one in the middle that Hella just decided not to include. But,
is that what it is? Yeah.
Standard Hella things.
Yeah, exactly. Hella, yeah. It's quite good. However, I just wanted to airbrush something, so I thought I'd make a hawk as an excuse to get the airbrush out again.
Are you going to be using it a lot more now or not?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or paint? Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute then. Forget that. I'll see in a minute. Right, moving over to Fenris. Hiya, Fenris.
Hey, how's it going?
So you're building a little bit of Gundam, is it?
This one is Maschinen Krieger, so it's close enough, but it's Hasegawa instead of Bandai.
Fantastic, those kits.
Yeah, I've been wanting one for a long time, and finally got my hands on one. So
nice.
What sort of money are they in dollars then over there?
I got this one for about 40, but usually I'll see it floating around for like 50 or 60 USD, which is a little bit steep for me. That's the main reason why I haven't gotten them is because they're a little on the expensive side.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it was the same for me because I got I think it was the Warhound one. I forgot what it's called off the top of my head, but that was about 50, 60 quid, but I managed to get one cheap at about 30 at the time. But they're good, really good fun kits and enough to, like, one of them kits that you can put a lot of imagination into if you want.
Yeah, I got the there's a lot you can do with them, and they're like
posable as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really posable, and y'all know me. I don't do much on when it comes to weathering my stuff, but I'm actually going to be attempting a lot of. I got some chipping fluid. I've got some sponges that I've been saving, so I'm actually gonna try to go full bore. No bird nests, but I don't think it.
Go on.
Yeah, find your own finishing, like, yeah. If I was in a bird's nest, I know.
I did see one guy had done the cockpit up in the same kind of I'm blanking on the name of the paint, the bluish green that Zeros have. Owl.
It's a metallic blue X13.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, but I saw somebody who did up the cockpit in that kind of a color, so I think I'm gonna do that, and then do some scratches and everything, because it has like a full cockpit, which is really cool because it can like pose it open and shut and stuff.
Yeah, excellent. Right, moving to James to boldly go.
With me.
Aye, anything on the bench tonight, mate, or are you just chilling?
Well, there's nothing on this workbench.
What are you doing at the moment?
M8 howitzer, Tamiya kit.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
What scale?
148.
148. Yeah.
That looks like a good build.
Something to look at anyway. Definitely. You have to get you on the bench sometime and see what you're doing.
Yeah, I need a long network cable for that.
Oh, you're not on the Wi-Fi there, no?
No. No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, moving on to Model Officer. Wow, I think he's weathering tonight. Yeah, Sully, look at this, Sully. Of course, Sully. Oh, Sully. Oh, powders, Sully. Powders.
Just making a bird's nest out of powders. So no, I'm just doing a bit of pigment work on a T34.
How would you seal that when you've done all that pigment work, James?
There's lots of ways in which you can do it. You can use a pigment binder. You can what I've actually done with the turret was I painted it in these sort of colours, and then put some chipping fluid over it. Then put the green on. Took back the user, obviously reignited the chipping fluid, if you like, and took some of that off to get some base colours there, and then straight on top with the pigment. So the paint is actually wet as such. So it just uses that to hold the pigments.
Well, fair enough. So yeah, it's all Greek to me, that, mate. Sully knows what you're on about.
Well, so basically here, what I've just done while you were talking.
Yeah.
A bit of pigment binder.
Yeah.
Brush it on. And then literally just sprinkling bits of pigment.
Fantastic.
Which gives you the crusty effect.
Yeah.
And then if you drop like too large a piece, you just use a cotton bud and push it in or move it around a little bit. Obviously, because it's got a wet surface, it's a little bit difficult to manipulate as much. Or the other thing you can do is do that and then come back with a brush and just put little drops of pigment binder on there on top.
Fantastic.
So it doesn't really matter if you do pigment then binder or binder then pigment.
It's a little easier if the base is moist in some description, not too moist.
Oh, what
obviously.
a word!
Oh,
what a word!
Moist.
But moist.
I really want cake now.
Yeah.
But also, what you can do is if you have a little bit of fluid and a reasonably pointy brush, you can actually put the fluid on there and work in and blend your pigments. So on this particular thing, I'm trying to make it look really rusty and neglected and forgotten about and all the rest of it. So having it a bit crusty is what I'm looking for anyway. So that works. But yeah, you can manipulate the pigments quite easily.
Is that a Stalin JS3 tank?
It's actually where's the box? I don't know where the box is. What do I do with that?
It's a T3485.
It's a T3485 from Rifle Models.
Oh, Whitefield.
That one there.
Are you happy with that kit?
Still that one there.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's not a bad kit. I'm like I say, I'm just playing around at the moment. So for that purpose, yeah, it's perfect for what I want to do.
Yeah.
As a kit as a representation, it's pretty good.
Excellent. Fair play. There we go. Gotta love it. Gotta love a bit of weathering. What are you showing us, Sully?
That's all right. I'm trying to do some filming at the same time. Sorry.
Oh, fair play.
Sorry.
Work.
He's bloody multitasking.
Multitasking. Jumping in the chat quickly. Dominic Cuckoo, Pish63, David JM, Gary Hidler, Morrowind, Hobby Barn, Taggers, is it Matika's Model Bow? He's also in the chat. Boston Buds, Dan Usher, Mann's boy. You're here anyway, Alex. Yeah. Erwin's in. Just Scotty. Question for the panel. Quick one. How do I find accurate paint scheme for the 1960s Jerry Anderson Stingray model I'm building?
Ooh.
Thanks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Watch all
the
See, I'm trying to think of the scheme. It's blue, yellow, and silver, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So thinking
I've got that theme tune in my head.
Yeah.
There's a fellow. I can't remember. Is it Houdini model? Someone is scratch building the Stingray. Someone was he's got the basic shell. He's got that the Stingray kit. I tell you what, I'll look it up and then I'll try to put it in the post. But he spends an enormous amount of time discussing the paints, the colors, all that stuff for the Stingray. So let me look up who that is real quick.
Yeah, because it actually has
teal
kind of blue on the body, and then the top piece is like a darker navy blue, and then it goes to teal again with the yellow.
I'd probably use those, which is the FS16. There's a flat aluminium, X4 blue and X3 yellow. That's what I'd probably use and just tinker with it a little bit. But,
so there's, right. Yeah. I'll just quickly going down for the chat again. Paul Burridge is in. Nice to see you. Just go for it. Paintings also in. Nice to see you too. Hobby Barnum said hello to Teague Zupa. I've never heard of him before. Thank you for joining us tonight. I think he's linked from another channel, which is good. Just going down through Midlife Chaos. Nice to see you, my friend. Paint Namer, Edward France, Diggers Evans. There's loads of you in Roachwood. All the classics are in tonight, so really appreciate you. Crazy Locker's also in. 50's Bin Man. Fantastic. So, anyways, we've got a full house tonight. Oh, we got Celtic West as well. Nice to see you, my friend. Right. Oh, and Mariska's in as well. Nice to see you too in Hobby Time. Right. So tonight the question is, what paints do you use and why? Now, I know it's going to be a lovely debate, this, because as you know, I've got thoughts on paint. This week, I've been told, James, model officer, is getting my complete range of outlaw paints, which is the military range that I bought from the fabulous Models for Heroes auction. So I'm waiting for that to come and pay for all that to come to me, which is fantastic. And we look forward to it. If you noticed, I did a boxing and review of the new fighter, Then and Now, from Airfix. It's not a starter set, it's a gift set. So it's two kits. There's a Spitfire, the Mark 5C Spitfire from 2020, and the new release Lightning. And as you notice, I opened up the paints, and one of them was foobarred. It was crap. But I did what I was always told to do. I contacted technical at Airfix, sent them an email, sent them pictures of the paint, the offending paint. I sent them my order number, and I also sent them a picture of the paint and the batch number on the box. And they said today, sorry about this, Moz, we're going to send you out the correct paint, or the better paint. So, but ironically, as I was going through, there was one paint that was perfect, what I would consider perfect, and it was number 33, and it's in this pot here, so you can see it's very much the design of the old pots. And I'm under the impression that they've worked hard and have started to bring out these starter set paints. And when I opened it up, it looked, I'm going to tip it carefully so I don't make a mess. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's wet. It's got the right consistency. Excuse my thumb, but I keep looking at it. But it looks like it's got a bigger ridge on it, I think. And then when you close it, it proper locks. So I'm hoping that is the future of Airfix paint. So the reason I brought what paint do I use is that I reckon the majority of people here that have started on Airfix have all used this starter set paint and have either come away with a good model, with the paint's been all right, or they've come away with a bit of a bad experience. But I wouldn't throw out Airfix paint or Humbro paints. You've got to keep them separate. Humbro and Airfix. I do think there's a place for these. When I'm desperate for a paint and I need to do some sort of detail, I jump on the Humbro paints. So my choice of paints at the moment is Tamiya LP. So I love lacquer paints. Attacker lacquer. I like using them. But I still use the Airfix paints. And I was wondering, on the chat, you can ask in the chat as well. I see there's a few people like Substitute 79 is Tamiya and Vallejo. We got James Woodward saying he's asking about AK paints. So there's there's loads of different varieties, but I want to ask you and everyone, what do you use and why? So Alex, what do you kind of use for your paints?
Oh, you started with me. I use everything. So I think I posted in a chat because I can't even remember. It took me a while to think. So Tamiya, I use a lot of Vallejo. Got a lot of Vallejo. Ataka, Panzer Aces, which are a brand that are made for AFV modeling, but they are Vallejo paints.
Yeah.
I also use a lot of single pigment paints. So the thing is with a lot of manufacturers, most manufacturers for modeling are blended paints. So this is why when you mix them, you tend to go down to brown because they don't have single pigments. So I also use Chimera and Golden So Flat because they're single pigment paints. So if you mix them, you get what you expect as if you're an artist or if you're into color theory, then you can predict what colors you're going to get out. So it's much better than, if you try and lighten a model paint, you might get something you don't expect because it's got white in there. It's got other pigments in there. Also use some other paints which come from miniature painting, like Pro Acryl. They're good. They've got good consistency, good color density. Army Painter for some stuff. Liquitex inks are really good, especially as color filters. And some of the Citadel contrast paints as well. So I am a painting whore. I will take anything for specific purposes. I don't have any brand loyalty. I've never used Revell Aquacolor. I've never used Humbrol. I've no incentive to try. In general, I kind of disagree with the comments that we said on that you said on the podcast, which you'll have to listen to if tonight, if you want to.
You can share them here. I can't remember what I said.
But you said about model companies getting into paint often produce good paint. I kind of think that painting is making paints is such a specialized thing. I think that dedicated companies do it far better than model companies. I mean, there are some model companies that have Japanese, of course, they're dedicated. I work for a Japanese company. They're incredibly fastidious. If they do something, they do it right. So I understand why Tamiya colors, work well, but they brush horribly generally. Although we've had some tips on this on Airfix and Chill to make them brush better. I would still prefer to use, a Vallejo or a Pro Acryl or something to paintbrush with, so I don't have to go through the pain of the Tamiya. All kinds of stuff.
Fair enough. What about you, Sully? You must be a bit of a paint whore as well, then.
No. I generally stick with Tamiya for the best part. But I mean, that said, I've got a large collection of AK Attacker. I'm saying this, I'm looking more than I actually thought I had. AK Attacker, some Vallejo game color stuff, and a couple of MIG ammo. That's about it, really, to be fair. Generally, because most of that stuff is kind of quite. They were usually box set ones just to make things easier at the time when I was making some of it. Particularly the AK stuff. But to be honest with you, it's shit. But I just refuse to get rid of it until I've used it.
Good experience with AK?
Say again?
You've not had good experiences with AK?
No, even I've got a set of the 3rd gen stuff. And even then, mind you, I've used
the 3rd gen.
Yeah, mind you though, I haven't used it yet but I've normally used Tamiya's thinner, used for like pretty much everything. But I bought some the Hobby Mr. Hobby leveling thinner, so I'm gonna try it with then, see if that makes any difference. But generally, particularly for airbrushing, it's always Tamiya. All the other stuff I use for hand painting, really.
Yeah, fair enough. Ms. Modeler, what do you use for paint?
Life color nowadays.
Yeah.
Are
you happy with them?
Yeah, I fucking love them.
What did you paint your lightning with? What did you paint your lightning with?
Life color, but that was an awful mix because I was going to use airbrush. Airbrush seems a bit busted. I've got a new one now, but it was mixed with obviously thinner, and then did not like being brush painted when it's thinned. Whereas life color, when it's not thinned as much, is absolutely fine to brush paints because I use it for both now. But I did my entire Lancaster. I think there was only silver that I didn't have. So I use life color for everything.
Fair enough.
Love it. Best paint ever.
Best paint ever.
To thin life color in this model?
Say again.
What do you use to thin the life color with?
The generic airbrush thinner that I have that I got from E-Models. Hold on. It's by thingy. Ultimate airbrush thinner. That's what I use.
Is that the Ultimate Products? Ultimate Products, is it? UMP.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
See, I've got to get some of that because people keep. I think is it Barabbas Rex on YouTube who does all the airbrushing. He tests all the paints and everything. He says you know, he struggled to get it over there, but you know, he did a whole video on it, and he reckons it's absolutely phenomenal. But the trouble with me is that I'm a stickler for using Tamiya thinner with Tamiya paints, Mr. Color thinner with Mr. Color paints, Humbrol thinner with Humbrol paint. Well, not really. I use Tamiya for the Humbrol paints to thin it down, to be fair. I got Vallejo, I've got their thinners. I've got, you know, even Hitaka, I've got their acrylic thinner here. You know, I just feel that you should, and whether it's because of the advice I've been given, and to be fair, MOT, you know, Mr. Color leveling thinner is a go-to, but I've got the bottle here, but I just tend to use the Tamiya. But yeah, I can see why people do that. Just go through the comments, and Tiger says I use all Humbrol paints, which is fair enough. The 50s bin man, a man after my own heart here, Tamiya rattle cans. Now, if you really want a modeling, if you want to do a car, say, and you just want to, it's just one coat all over, you cannot go wrong with Humbrol spray cans. They're expensive, but I've never had a shit result from a Humbrol spray can. And I just wish they could take what they use in that spray can and put it in a starter kit pot. You know what I mean? It goes on absolutely great. But then the Humbrol primer is extremely good. So, but just seeing, we've got a few here. Vallejo's Model Air is quite a big one. So I'm seeing a bit of a line here between those who airbrush and those who hairy stick it, if you know what I mean. So, but what about you, James, Model Officer? What paints do you like using?
Primarily, I use Model Color.
Model Color?
Yeah. Yeah, I use it for both hairy stick and airbrush.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I use a generic thinner.
Yeah. You make your own thinner, though, don't you?
A sprue box thinner, yeah.
Yeah, I must try that.
So,
send me some down when you get 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Have a go.
Yeah, so I use that, and I'll be honest, the main reason I use that is because I've just learned how to use it, and it does the job for me. So,
okay.
I tend to, if I find a product that works, I tend to use that. I don't really venture out and try other things, although that's not necessarily going to be the case in the next couple of weeks. We're trying all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, that's generally what I use.
Yeah. Matt, what do you tend to use when you use Humbrol, don't you?
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, let me just quickly move that aside. I tend to.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're an attacker, aren't you? You are.
I mean, they both begin with H, to be fair.
And I took a recommendation from somebody who shall remain anonymous and bought a life color set.
Oh my god, I can't imagine who could that have been.
So I went a little bit mad on Hitaka because I used to use Humbrol enamels, as I'm sure most of us did in the old days, you know, back before electricity hit Norfolk, so about 2 years ago. And I wanted to completely replace paint, and Hitaka did sets that seemed to be the right sort of shades. I do have a couple of Humbrol acrylics. Simply, I used them to bulk up my postage a little while ago, and they're just the red is ridiculously thick, and the grey is a little bit thin. They're just not very consistent. But I mean, I still use them. I'm not going to chuck them out. They're not, you know, bin worthy. Not like a particular company that we shouldn't really talk about with their paint. But
gross.
Because I use both. Let me just stretch up here a sec. Oh, this hasn't been on stream before. Right, I use both brush and airbrush. So this is Hitaka hairy sticked, looking rather nice, and this is Hitaka airbrushed, looking rather nice.
Is that with the blue, or have you got Hitaka? Have you watered down? Have you thinned out the blue? Have you?
Yeah, they're all thinned blue.
Yeah. So what sort of ratio would that be? 40-60? 40% paint, 60%?
I did it until it looked about right. I wasn't counting,
how I
and
do it.
I really should have done because I liked how this came out, and I'd like to do it again. But,
I know that feeling.
Just eyeball it, Mars. Eyeball it.
Eyeball it. Eyeball it. Definitely. So Rorex
I have
is the
sprayed with
man. He uses enamel, don't you, Rorex?
Yep, I do.
Likes modelling in hard mode.
Yeah. Well, is it model kit bot? Is it model kit stuff? Whatever he's called. I can't know what his name is now. He's now transferred all of his paints to enamel.
Model kit stuff.
He's airbrushing enamel. What's that? Sorry.
He's model kit stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's a good lad. He is really good lad. But he's gone down the enamel route, hasn't he? He actually airbrushes with enamel, and I'm like,
I wouldn't airbrush it. I wouldn't airbrush it. That wouldn't be healthy.
You wouldn't airbrush enamel?
No, because it wouldn't be healthy.
Well, they've got rid of the MEK now, so it should be a bit better for you, shouldn't it?
Yeah, a bit, but still, I wouldn't recommend it. I work in a lab, so I know a little bit.
You just need a chemical filter mask.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They're not that expensive. I use one.
Yeah, but I work too much with chemicals and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See,
but I don't airbrush, so I'm safe.
My friend Celtic West has become a real stauncher for SMS lacquer paints. He's loving that stuff at the moment. He does use Tamiya, but he's saying that SMS stuff goes down well. So I know Oz Scale Modeling is saying that if you ever use outlaw paints, then you won't go back. So I'm a little bit, erring here. But have you ever airbrushed? Has anyone here airbrushed the Humbrol starter set paint yet?
No.
No?
I've airbrushed
One time
generic
I made
Humbrol.
that bad. Did it once, and it was a bad idea.
So even if you've thinned it down with MOT or with some sort of acrylic thinner, you wouldn't try and airbrush Humbrol paint them.
I don't know, like with their new stuff or even like the like the new dropper bottles that they have, but I'm talking about like from the starter set stuff. I'm not even gonna try to reach over there. I've never had anything gum up my airbrush so bad so fast.
Okay. Well, Gary Hitler said I have, and is it Yorkshireman models? I'm sure I've seen him airbrush Humbrol, and he's done a good job with it.
He has. He did it with those starter paints, didn't he? I'm sure. Or did he not? Ignore me. I'm rambling. Bye.
No, I think you're right. Did he actually sprayed with the starter set paint?
I think he did.
I think he did.
Well, if two of us thinks he did, he must have done. And if
I
not, we'll have
must
to
have
peer
done.
pressure him into doing it.
Because mind you, I'm not watching one of his videos for a while because how it works for me. If I'm subscribed to you, it comes up in notification, and the first thing I do is I save to watch later, and there's nothing better for me is to do some modeling or do something on the computer and have you guys in the background. I love watching and listening.
Exactly what I do.
He misses us.
It is. It's so. I bet there's people here now. I reckon out of the 102 people watching us, there's about 60 of yous who are actually on the bench modeling away, thinking, listening to these, donuts talking about
wonderful people.
It's like you're in a model club, isn't it? When you're there and you're modeling away, you've got these people behind you. But anyway, yeah. So I'm not saying, but I do remember he sprayed, and I thought he'd done a pretty good job with it. So my next video, I'm going to be what's it called? Spraying starter set paints. And just seeing if I can get a finish from it.
Yeah, this specifically was the pot that I tried spraying for the Sea King HAR3. This was the yellow that came in with the set, so this was the one that I.
Yeah, make sure you use a 0.2 nozzle, Moss.
A 0.2, yeah.
Don't thin it much. Just bang it.
Yeah.
Most expensive airbrush you've got,
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm
It'll
no
clog it.
expert by any means, but I'm pretty sure that's a good idea.
Bloody out.
I
Hang
even
on.
think it's a
Right.
good idea.
Dom is, you don't do that to my videos, Moz. I'm uploading loads. You've not come up in my notifications, Dom. So I better check I'm still subscribed to you because, like I said, there's been a lot of videos that I've been unsubscribed to channels. I've been wondering, well, I've not seen them for a while. And it's because YouTube's unsubscribed me. So I'll have a look, Dom. I promise you, I'll have a look. But to be fair, you didn't post for ages, so I was assuming that you weren't posting again. So I will have a look at your videos, mate. Definitely. So yeah, that must be something to have a look at. Is a lot of people here have sprayed Humber enamel paint with rapid thinners for years. So yeah, maybe there is a future for enamel. I don't know, but I would like to have a crack at getting a pot. Dom's taking the piss. Oh, okay, mate. Well, don't do that to me. I felt bad then. I try and support as many as I can. You know, I don't always comment, but I always like a video, even if I'm only pop on. If you're on a live stream and you're doing like Ice Queen, if I can't stay around, I always jump in.
Yeah.
It's like screwing glue. On a Thursday, he always goes live stream, and I try and just jump in and say, give him a like, give him a share. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. If you could spray up a starter set paint, you know, with the original. And see, that's another thing about Humber is that they do an airbrush kit, don't they? And it's just so 1970s. It's unbelievable. Get with it anyway. So Vallejo. So in the chat here, us talking. Who's got Vallejo on their bench?
I've got 2.
You've got 2.
Uh-oh.
Fenris, are you Vallejo? Vallejo.
Vallejo. Yeah, Vallejo is my primary paint.
If anybody wants to see what Fenris can do with Vallejo, watch his videos. It's incredible. I can't.
It's all about proper. It's all about proper thinning. Do you
need to borrow Vallejo paint?
Yeah, exactly.
I've never used them.
I find honestly just using specifically their airbrush thinner. I know different thinners will work in general, but at least for me, for my bench, for my thinning purposes, 7 drops of this to 7 drops of the paint to 1 drop of this.
Yeah.
If it's an airline, and if it's not, if it's do I have any nearby? Yeah. If it's not one of the airs, then 5 drops of paint to 1 drop of thinner, and that works beautifully.
Yeah. So we've got Vallejo. Anyone use Tamiya here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Sure.
Yes.
Have you tried using a hairy stick with lacquer paints?
Yes.
With their LP.
Yeah.
Or any lacquer.
Well, Tamiya lacquer paints, because I've been using it with a hairy stick, and I'm actually a little bit impressed with it.
That LP stuff, I used it for the first time on a charger, and it sprays beautifully. I sprayed it with Mr. Color leveling thinner.
Yeah,
and it went down as nice as any Mr. Color lacquer that I use, and Mr. Color is my absolute go-to paint. I use Mr. Color more than anything, especially for spraying. And I can use the Tamiya paints with Mr. Color. So Tamiya paints, the alcohol-based paints like Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, they'll spray great with Mr. Color leveling thinner.
Yeah.
The detergent-based paints like Vallejo, AK, Mission models. If you look at what their thinners, you shake their thinners and they will bubble.
Yeah.
There's a surfactant in it. They will not spray with your alcohol-based thinners. And so if you use Vallejo, I found that Vallejo thinner works best. The AK third gen thinner works best. Mission models, you got to add poly, and then you've got to add their surfactant based thing. I just do not bother with mission models at all anymore. But for my favorite paint to Harry stick with, which aren't being made anymore, is Model Master. It's my favorite paint to use.
Yeah, the old tester acrylics.
Yeah, absolutely. Testers, man.
The testers gone bust though. Testers aren't around no more, though, are they?
Model Master isn't. So DuPont bought their manufacturing capacity to do it, and
I still have some on hand that I still use.
Paint right there to Harry stick with.
Yeah.
I found that I have a few colors that when I found out that they were going when they got bought out and they were being discontinued, that I ran out and I bought a ton of. Including this Blue Angel Blue, which works really good for a glossy sea blue as well.
Yeah.
Did the same thing. This is the very last bottle of Model Master from my hobby shop. I'm not going to open it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Anyway,
what I'd say was just I bought the other night when I was doing this, and I did it with the Lightning as well. I sprayed up the wheels on the 72 plane, and then I picked what I thought was my black, my flat black from Tamiya. And we got to remember that when I use my LP, I get the jar and I fill it up with the thinners, close it up, give it a shake, and leave it, and that's it. And then I write the words mixed on it. There you go, LP3. And I put the word LP3 mix, and that's it. Then that's mixed now for me. So what I got to do now is give it a good old shake in the Attacker Lacquer shaker, and then I then put it into my airbrush and spray, and it's good. I picked it up thinking this was the flat, the X, and I went to paint it and I thought, oh shit, that's a bit thin. But what I did was I realised that because it was a little bit thinner, it was actually going up to the ridge of the hub. So what I did, I got my brush and I just gently right across the edge, right the way around, and it like built up around the hub. And I left it overnight, and it just dried perfect. It looked really good. So I thought, so then I gave it another coat, and the wheels come up absolutely. You can't see it on here, I'm afraid, because it's just but the actual hubs came up absolutely, and that's all because I just, with very thin paint, just let the wick effect, isn't it? Or capillary.
The lacquer paint self-level, so the longer you leave it, it disappears into it. So if you've got to touch up a nick or a scratch, touch up and just leave it.
And that's it. Yeah, so that's what worried me. It looked crap. But then when I came the next time, I thought, so I've been doing it on the plane since. I've done it on the Bearcat as well. Just, so I don't have to worry about spraying the outside, spraying the inside. Just let it go. And 172, it's good. But somebody's mentioned Citadel. Anyone here use Citadel paints?
No.
Not for a long time.
I don't use Citadel. I used to use them, but I will say I do use their washes pretty often. Their acrylic washes, I think, are some of the best acrylic washes.
I do use a couple of their contrast paints.
Yeah.
Sully, do you use MIG one-shot primer?
I have done. Pretty good, to be fair.
Is it good? Somebody's asking, hi, I use MIG one-shot primer, but I can't get it to spray well. What shall I dilute it with? It's polyurethane based.
Tamiya thinners will do.
Yeah, Tamiya thinners with it.
Yeah, Tamiya thinners pretty much works with most, not obviously everything, but most things I found it works with.
Yeah, I've got to get into ammo and make, because I've got the RAF set. I think I've shown it before. Never used it. I just got it just because I thought it looked good. But
I've used this. I've got that one. It's good. It is good.
Yeah.
It's the early version.
See, John Alex saying one last comment. The AK real lacquers are fantastic as Tamiya LP. See, I won't touch AK, but people tell me they're really good.
The third gen, you have to use the third gen for me. I just found that to get them to spray, you've just got to use that third gen thinner. But the AK reels they're just as, I don't know, they're not as good, I think, as Mr. Color, but I've been using these AK reels and I'm completely happy with them. They spray perfect.
Yeah.
In Mr. Color,
it's more principle for me. I don't use AK.
I understand.
I've never had to use them. I've never had to use them either, though. And to be fair, they've never done anything better than the stuff I've already got. The only thing I kind of miss, or I wish others would bring out, is their pencils. AK pencils, the
not being funny, you can go down to WH Smith's and get a set of the artist pencils.
That's all it is.
It's the same as the AK pencils. They're a lot cheaper.
Yeah. They seem softer, though. I've seen them in action. I've seen people use them, and they seem a lot softer. That's why I thought they would do something. So maybe I need to go down to WH Smith's then, or to the Wax and get myself.
I've done that. I've got some of them.
Let's have a look at that. So, and Revell. Anyone here use Revell? Aquagloss?
Yeah,
vaguely.
So I'm with Alex. I've tried the Revell. Well, I guess he said he'd never used them, but I tried to use them and I did not. I just did not care for them. I think that
I did manage
airbrushing for Perry stick. They might be great, but man, they just do not airbrush well.
They're bad for everything. I did buy a few when I first a few years ago tried to do some acrylic painting, and they were usable, but they're just unpleasant. They're thick, or you thin them and then they're just rubbish. I have managed to get a decent wood effect using like a sort of a cream undercoat and a tan, a couple of different browns, really thin, and it's okay, but they're not really worth anything.
Okay. MIG one-shot primer is Steinerles primer.
Steinerles.
Never heard of that before. That's a newbie on me, that one.
It's an old one, I think.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I actually recently came across. I had not heard of them until recently when I was coming across some old blogs about vinyl kits, because I recently got a vinyl kit.
Yeah.
And I had to look it up.
Yeah.
James uses those LPJ models. He uses all that stuff.
Yeah.
Does he? I have to look at that. Now you said it. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, actually, now is that maybe I've said it wrong? He must say it differently. Looking at it as a word and hearing him say it, totally different, isn't it?
It's all right.
Yeah. Mind you, he's not posted for a while, is he? Bless him. I hope he's all right. He's to me, he just blows me away when he does stuff. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just give up now. Sell the fucking lot. That's it.
I have missed his stuff, to be fair. Actually,
yeah.
I kept on meaning to sort of go, come on, but I don't want to push him. Push him too hard.
I don't think people realise what an arse it is to edit up a video, isn't it?
Yeah,
Once you
there's a lot of
it.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
You said that the other night, didn't you, Alex? It's a right arse, isn't it?
It is. It takes a lot.
And I think it takes twice as long to build a model when you're filming it.
Oh God,
yeah. And that's why my quality of when I do builds is overhead shot, and that's it. I don't piss about moving the camera. I just want to. When I build, it's my yoga. It's it's my way of decompressing the day, and that's why modeling is such a part of my. And also, making videos is therapeutic for me as well. And podcasting is becoming even more of a therapeutic on a Thursday night. It's I'm also
you don't edit it, boss.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Somebody's mentioned who's the company? Is it Hannah's own variety. Is it called Extra Dell or something?
Extra acrylic. Extra acrylic or extra
enamel
color.
and acrylic. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyone use that?
Yes.
I have. Yeah.
It's apparently very good for brush painting, according to somebody here in the chat.
Right.
Well,
I did
use the enamel.
Yeah.
I did a lot of brush painting with it. I've got quite a few tins, and it used to be quite good. The colors I think are really nice. The pigment's really good. However, now they turn into a slush after about 3 days, whether you've used it or not. Once you've opened it, that's it. It just becomes this horrible stringy slush. That's one of the reasons why I decided, you know what, time to just fork out and buy a load of acrylics. So
yeah,
thanks, Hannah. Your paints sold other people's paints. Let's say they used to be good, and I think the colors are still good. They're just unusable, really, these days.
Yeah. Apparently, they dry in the airbrush and they are gritty, according to Richard Brace. I'm assuming that's about those paints.
Yeah, I never tried to airbrush them. Thank you.
Yeah. But that's right. So that's sold by Badger, is it? Oh, thanks, Hobby Bar. And that's Styron Res is sold by Badger.
The what? Sorry, the what? What?
Is it? How do you say it again?
Steinel
Res.
Steinel Res. Hang on, I got to say it 5 times. Steinel Res. Right, I've got it. Extra.
Think of it like polystyrene. Steinel.
Oh, Dan's off to bed. Good night, Dan.
Dan.
Post. Bought some sets of very cheap artist acrylics and oils, dirt cheap from wax. Useless for art painting, but excellent for weathering. Sounds about right, doesn't it? It's amazing what you can find out there. Teslas and Model Masters have done a solid job with enamels, including airbrushing. So, yeah, airbrushing.
Yeah, you can airbrush Model Master as well.
It's really good, actually. I think it's nice and flat, that stuff.
Yeah.
The reason I'm using Tamiya LPs and a lot of Tamiya paints is because they have a good range of colors.
Yeah.
The only other one that I can say have got a completely full range of colors is Humbro. Revel is very much hit and miss, hence why everything's all 90 and 10 or 60 and 40, when you mix in paint. But Tamiya and Humbro and Mr. Color has also got a very good range of paints, haven't they? Good colors.
And they are Model Air.
For their Model Air, but more military that though, isn't it?
A very comprehensive range.
It's more military though, isn't it?
Almost every shade of green you could ever want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Except for British Rail Green.
Except for British Rail Green.
That's right.
Speaking of Model Masters airbrushing, well, this was airbrushed with the Model Masters Acryl, which is just their acrylic version, but
that's actually very nice.
It went on very well.
That's an interesting plane. Is that the only Corsair you've ever made?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Perhaps you can give some tips to Alex Fenris.
Yeah. Revel instructions, you have to mix 90% of the Revel paints, and it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question, though, because most people do just look for the right color.
Yeah,
right?
I was about to go there. Yeah,
which is not the case in a lot of other. If you take miniature painting, for instance, nobody buys like the color paint. They'll mix and they'll blend and they'll do all kinds of stuff, which then develops, your eye for that. Are we missing a trick? Do you think there?
Probably.
That is one of the reasons why. Go on, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I stick with model color, is because the range of colors are phenomenal, and you have. I don't see the point of buying model color air, because basically, if you have model color and add a thinner to it, it's model color air. So you get more for your buck. And talking of greens, I mean, you can. Just even In fact, I can show you, funny enough. That's the range of colours you get.
Yeah.
I mean, if there isn't a green there you need, you don't need it. So, you know, and you can make most of the greens with a couple of them that you mix together. So, especially if you do hairy stick brush painting. So, you know, I mean, that's quite a large range, and it covers every colour you can possibly want.
Yeah.
So,
because it's basically Vallejo Model Air is just 40% thinners added to the paint, so you probably get more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
But I'm a lazy modeler. I would rather just get it and then what's it called? Put it into the airbrush and go. I don't. That's what I keep saying. As soon as I open up a Tamiya paint, whether it's X, XF, or LP, I'm add the mix in and I leave it. Now the only caveat to that is that if I want, say I'm building a car, I will specifically go out and buy or order that Tamiya color that I want for my car or my lorry build, and I will use Tamiya lacquer thinner with the retarder in it, or the acrylic with the retarder in it, because I want that retarder to slow the process down so I can get a gloss finish on 2 passes of the brush. But other than that, that's the reason. And I put in there mixed, and I put R on it, so retarded one. So, but I'm that lazy, you know. I just want to grab it, do it, then so I just pull it out, clean up my brush, or give it a whisk through with some IPA, and that's it. So,
or if you're feeling
there's nothing wrong with that.
You could spray it on neat, Moz.
I don't think you can really. I like to thin it down a little bit. Anyway, I'll be back in 2 secs.
While he's there, popping off, I do think that there is a strength in being able to mix your paints to a color, right? Like, I don't think it's necessarily necessary. I think it is good. It is very good, you know, even from a business standpoint, just being able to buy whatever colors. But I do think it's a very good practice if you want to be able to play with like modulations, with tones, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things that people kind of leave out of the equation is what type of light is it going to be displayed in? Because if you're using a warm light versus a cool light, it will guaranteed change the color of your paint, your finished product. And how often have you heard anybody talk about that, right? Like,
yeah. And even what scale it is, you know.
Yeah.
Glossy blue on a 1/72 scale model will look different on a 1/48 scale, look different on a 1/24.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because light doesn't interact the same way with small things as with big size, because the particle size of the paint is the same.
And that's what I tell my missus.
Yay.
Boom, boom, boom.
I've been waiting to try and get some form of euphemism in there.
Now the boss has gone.
Yeah.
We can do anything.
Throw a few F-bombs in there. He'll be quite happy with that.
We're past the Watergate now, so we'll be all right, I think.
Yeah.
I will often, this is more of a railway thing than anything, although it does apply with aircraft as well. I will often deliberately alter the color that I'm using. So I have a train of 4 coaches just next to me, and they're all of the same base color, but some have been lightened, some have been darkened, and some are lightened with a pink, and others are lightened with a paler red, that sort of thing, just to give a bit of variation if you're going to have a lot of the same color in a row, because you don't want it to be
like think of like brick production, right? Like all bricks, like there's brick red, but how often do you look at a brick building and see just the whole same color of red on the building? You know,
I regularly look at bricks, Fenris. I don't have much of a life.
He's been in that cell for fucking years.
He's been arrested for it.
Again.
No, you are absolutely right. It is monotonous. Yeah. So I have all of these Hataka paints, but I will get annoyed if all of my aircraft end up looking identical with their camo. So at the moment, I've only done, I think 3 is the most in the same color. And even then, I tweaked the grey a little. Well, I say I tweaked. I ballsed up the grey a little bit on one of them.
Yeah, I absolutely don't think there's anything wrong with going and buying. I've done it myself. I bought the Hataka REF color set. Use that. I mean, I muck about with it as well, but I think doing that, you don't learn anything doing that. I guess. And I kind of do, or did, miniature painting as well. And you kind of, the amount that I learned about color theory and that kind of stuff from that I could then bring to modeling. And I think modeling can bring lots of miniature painters as well, which also doesn't happen. But I think there's, because we are quite close communities in a way. You know, we don't kind of speak to them; they don't speak to us.
Too right.
Well,
I think quite a lot that both communities could borrow and steal from each other.
Yeah, and admittedly, like I can understand coming from the standpoint of, you know, military paints were generally standardized, whether or not they kept to that standardization. You know, that in theory, exactly. But you know, you're not really going to see on average a pink Corsair for say, you know. But when it comes to miniature painting, when you're doing even things like Warhammer 40K that has their own armies, it's built in to let you kind of just do whatever you want with the paints. And so I think that it is more I don't want to say more important, but I guess it pays more dividends to learn that for miniature painting compared to modeling. But then you have things like actually this specifically right here where there's no designated paint colors, but it is more of a traditional model where there's some kind of overlap.
Or RAF Sky.
Or RAF Sky, in and of itself. Yep.
I got into a rabbit hole which I somewhat regret and somewhat am pleased with. I mean, it wasted a few hours of my life, but I learned something. That is interior colors.
Finally.
Well, exactly. Interior colors for, in this case, it was the US Army. And of course, there was a standardized formula that was supposed to be used, but certain factories or like Curtis just mixed their own vaguely. Somebody sent the wrong instructions to Republic, so a load of Thunderbolts ended up being painted a very dark green instead. And of course, it depends what it's painted on and how many coats you've got. So in some cases, they'd cheap out and it'd be a bit thin, so it'd look a lot paler and more metallic.
It's a fair shout. Can't argue with that, can you?
And then you've got pictures of sort of bomber production lines where some people painted certain bits green and others didn't. In other words, if somebody moans at your model for having a slightly wrong interior paint, you can tell them to, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go forth and multiply.
You can tell them to.
Somebody's asked the question, when it comes to metallics, what is the best for airbrushing? I have heard Mr. Colour is best.
Best for airbrushing or best result from airbrushing?
Whatever Plastic Alchemist uses.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's big, isn't it? Didn't he use MIG ammo for the metallics?
I've used it, and it's good.
Which one's that? MIG ammo?
The MIG ammo, yeah. I bought their very specific metallic set, and really, I can't rate it enough, actually, to be honest with you.
You nearly left the wife for it.
Alclad is pretty good.
I was about to say Alclad 2, I've seen some amazing results come from it, but from what I understand, having not used it myself, Alclad can be a little finicky in if you don't do things quite exactly right, it comes out bad. So it can be a little bit of a learning curve on it compared to, you know, MIG where it's just loaded up and shoot it, right?
Right. Yeah, Alclad you have to really kind of spray it on wet. It's right out of the bottle, but
you got a black
you have to use the
base.
right primer. It's got to go on the correct.
Glossy black primer is
Alclad's got, you've got to use black for Alclad, haven't you?
Yeah,
well, any metallic
just for it.
Yeah, any metallic you really want a gloss black basis for.
I think you find that Alclad 2 on their instructions, they say that they recommend that you spray all their paint on a black primed model.
Yeah. It's like a very attractive woman. You have to spend a lot of time preparing it before you can shoot your load.
I like that.
cannot relate.
Yeah.
Well, Sully started with the euphemisms when you were away.
Don't blame me.
Did he really?
I know what you're on about. I wasn't here.
I've got a duck out, Moss.
Cheers, mate. Nice seeing you.
Sorry, it's not for long. I've got to be up at 4 in the morning, so I'll see you
mate.
guys later.
Thanks for coming on anyway.
Take care.
Appreciate
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye, bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I might have room now for Anfield to come on in a minute. I'll send him an email. So yeah, when it comes to metallics, you, Sully, did the ultimate by opening up a chrome pen and sprayed a Spitfire with.
Don't do that. Don't copy that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. No, don't.
I've contemplated it.
No,
what happened?
It looks. Don't get wrong. It looks great, but as soon as you start manhandling it or try and dust it, it just goes to shit. So unless you can put it in, once you've painted it, and as long as you can keep it into some form of airtight container that will never ever be opened in thousands of years.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Did you not put a lacquer on it or something, or a varnish over the top of it?
No, but I've since tried and it didn't go down very well. Just fogged it up.
Okay.
Sorry, I saw Lou Damaso go through 7 kinds of help using a Molotov.
Yeah.
On his ET's mothership.
Oh.
He had an absolute nightmare with the
I mean, it looks great, but it just doesn't fare very well. I mean, if you're going to use it on small things like undercarriage legs, or anything like hydraulic, that's never going to get touched. Fine, but just don't make it into a full, full model thing because it will look shit in the end eventually.
I found for full model stuff, the best results I get from rattle cans.
Yes.
Yeah. Full aluminium finish or something. And it's easy.
Like a Sunday morning.
Which was the paint that you would spray on and then you would buff them with a cloth? Who did that range of paint for metallic?
Oh God, that was.
Who was that?
I've seen somebody.
Oh God, that's
S&J spray metal.
Yeah, you spray it up and then you give it. It looks a bit dull, but then you buff it with with a cloth.
S&J. Spray metal and polishing polish. I had some and it separated out, and I tried to use it. Bad.
Humble used to do one.
In theory, that would work with any metallic paint.
And isn't there a paint that you mustn't shake as well? There's a paint in there because I remember Nigel Modelling Bench talking about a paint, and you buy it, but you mustn't shake it. You just use it straight out the bottle.
That's the Alclad varnish he's on about.
Is that the Alclad varnish? Is it?
Yeah.
You never mix it. You just leave it alone, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that
nitroglycerin based paint?
So, is that like an enamel? Is it?
It'll make bubbles.
I like making bubbles.
It makes bubbles.
I want to shake it now.
Shake it.
See what it is.
Especially
too much to resist, wouldn't it? Do not shake this. It's like.
Oh yeah. Plastic Alchemist Aqua Gloss from Alclad, never to be shaken. An AK did a paste that you could rub on and polish up.
Is it there's someone that does a pigment? Is it C1? I want to say C1 for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen someone that does a pigment that you can just. It was Plasmo. It was Plasmo. Who did it. I can't remember what it was though.
Well, he was using gold leaf the other day.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was, the 40k model.
Yeah. Yeah, the Land Raider. Yeah. That was quite a good answer, that was.
Used gold leaf on his model.
Yeah.
24K.
And it turned out really good.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hella. He's something else though, isn't he? He don't need to produce any more videos. He's done it all, isn't he? That's it. Yeah. Like
he
the other day.
One every couple of months or something, doesn't he?
Well, like the other day, I was watching one. It wasn't the other day. It was a few months back. But he did that Star Wars ship, and he
that one from Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that one.
The big one. Now, shut up. But he done all the electrics, didn't he? And all the LEDs and all the fiber and everything. And then he did code on a computer to run this chip that he had. Oh, and honestly, mate, it's like, what the hell? But,
there's a guy who actually does a lot of Star Wars dioramas with LEDs.
Yeah.
There's like, we're like battling stormtroopers and stuff with all the blasters.
Oh, Boyle
Hobby Time.
Yeah.
He's fun.
I watch it all the time.
I love his dioramas in general.
Well, just the way he does his videos are really good. That he's doing that Imaginary West sort of series.
Yeah,
which using 70-second scale like cowboy stuff and making it into some like proper steampunk stuff is really, really good.
Yeah,
giant monsters and stuff.
Yeah,
he 3D prints a ton of them that he makes on his iPhone.
But his LED stuff is amazing because he uses them like fluorescent tubey type ones, doesn't he?
Yeah, the long ones.
The flexible. Yeah,
they are crazy. Those ones. The one he did of Bowser from the new Mario film, that was a good one.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to find him now. So gold leaf. Imagine. See, I've only ever seen it held in my hands one model that's been done using foil. Aluminium foil. You can buy the micro scale industries do a glue for it, don't they?
Yeah.
But apparently you've got to use a specific type of aluminium foil, and you've got to boil it in water first, haven't you, or something to. But I've seen it. I've put foil over me turkey at Christmas, and as soon as you creased it, you fucked it. Haven't you? You know what I mean? But has any of you done any foiling like that?
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend it.
Is it?
I've wheel polished a sphere.
I'm looking forward to trying the airbrush mod.
Like speaking about things that are amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hobby time. Sprayed my command poller with Motel chrome pen. Let it dry a few days and aqua gloss on top. Perfect finish.
Ooh. I'll have to pocket that.
I'll try that. Yeah, I'll try that one. I've still got some pens that I can try it with, and I can give it a go.
See, there's one kit that Airfix brought out which had foil in it. Which one was that? Do you remember? There's a kit that Airfix brings out every so often, and they have foil in it. Which kit's that? But that's a good
Lunar module.
Lunar module, that's the one. That's got to be gold leaf. With the price of the kit, I expect it to be fucking 24 karat gold.
Yeah.
That seems, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Solid gold.
Yeah. There's a lot of foil in that one. Yeah, he's a good channel. Dark Soldier. Anyone else see Tom's modeling in motion?
Oh,
yeah.
He's one that makes you want to quit.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff as well.
Yeah.
Not as active as he was, but yeah.
I'm not surprised. It takes him months and months to do it.
Mind you, that Lancaster one he did must have took him some time because that was
sickening when people are talented, isn't it?
I know, tell me about it.
How dare they?
So then, Anfield, you've got yourself an airbrush, have you? Wow. But have you got the compressor? Hey, he's got a battery one.
There you go.
Hey. I thought you were just going to hold your breath and then just
blow for a straw.
Yeah.
No, it's going to sit on a piles cushion connected up to the hose.
I've just built a spray booth at the moment.
Oh yeah, cardboard box.
Yeah.
I did that, but then my cat just moved in.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark F just turned up. Celtic West, Jen Wright is awesome at foiling models. I must look at that's Genesis scale modeling, isn't it? Not Genesis scale modeling, it's Genesis
Yeah, it is. Yeah, what you said. It's very close to Genesis scale modelling, but
it's not
spelled Gen.
With J in it, Jen. Yeah.
Ain't got the foggiest.
So in my old car builds, I wet sand and weather dent the grind rust holes in the body. That's how I have fun with bad paint job. Yeah. I've seen people use Humbrol cement to do that as well. To use to make it bubbly and stuff. Good old Humbrol cement. This is the best stuff ever. This is. You can build any model with this. And if you've built a model with this, then you appreciate how. Yeah.
I genuinely have.
As Lex
I have.
I've tried to build it.
I'd rather
the
use
with
Cameo over it.
Yeah.
You just like I said, they need to show you how to use it properly. That's all. But like I was saying, I'm still trying to find that Poso paint, that Poso cement.
I will email you at some point, Mars.
What for?
Just help me email you for a kit.
Oh, fair enough.
So this is wild that I've never experienced before. This kit,
yeah,
it has you actually putting on the rivets as separate parts.
Ooh,
yeah, they're
crazy.
Be careful, they're pain in the arse.
yeah, like there's let's see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There's like very tiny little circles that have been let's see. There we go. Yeah, you can see the little tiny circles that they put in place, so that's where the rivet heads need to go.
What a load of shite that is. They could have just done that on the machine for you.
And in case you happen to lose any, here are the spare rivets. To shave off.
Oh my word.
Never before have I come across this. Like,
all right, Mini Hut, calm down.
Oh my word! So they couldn't have just done that in the tooling. They expect you to put them on. That's right. They're like little lines there as well, where you can do raised panel lines with it as well. Is there?
It's location. They're location points for the rivet.
Yeah,
I know somebody used to well, I don't know him personally, but I've seen it done where they would get sprue and they would stretch it over a candle and then use the thin bits to make raised panel lines where they think where it was needed. Like, sometimes is it the new 124 Spit has got raised and recessed panel lines in it, hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, and these rivets too, they're undergated. So not only do you have to snip them off of the sprue, you then have to snip underneath to clean the rivet off, so it can lay flat.
Here we go. Ping. That will end up where my fucking seat for that quad bike is.
Because so you see, like there's that little bit of gate, so now I have to trim the bottom of it off.
I don't even know how you clean that up.
You're trimming a rivet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Hey, Fenris, Wayne Welly has just put the best comment tonight. Mini Art is going to hold my beer.
Yeah, Fenris, here's a rivet for you.
Yeah.
There we go. And so I've done, what is this? Yeah, 5 on this one, another 6 on this one already.
Oh my word!
Did they give you spares?
Yeah. This is the spares.
Look at the spares on a plate like that. You got to.
Yeah, so you got to shave them off.
Yeah. I was just wondering, you get to the last one and then it flips onto the.
Yeah. Well, I've actually already fired 3 across my office, and I have no idea where they went. And I'm not even going to try to figure out where they went. And to be honest, I don't know that this is going to be any worse because having to trim and then trim the bottom, it's pretty much the same thing. So,
have you got Fenris? Have you got a razor saw?
I don't have a razor saw, but I do have a. I'm not going to try to dig it out, but one of the Olfa blades, like the utility knives that stretch out that are very flat that you can use, but I don't have an actual razor saw.
So, because I think I use the blade, I think, to cut mine off. If I remember right.
Yeah. No, like a normal hobby knife is not trick.
Have you considered just throwing it in the bin? Oh no, it's quite expensive.
Jonathan Wilson's just asked the chat. Need paint for a 4-tone camo Airfix Gloster Gladiator Mark II. Any suggestions?
Hataka.
4-tone.
Is that green, brown, black and white?
Green, brown, black and white, isn't it? Or sky?
It'd either be black and white or sky and white, depending on the exact period.
Or a bit of brown. Or 2 shades of brown, isn't it?
Some of them were painted over. So definitely don't use Humbrol number 30 because that color is just it triggers me in ways that a paint should not.
It triggers you.
Humbrol number 30 is not RAF dark green. Never has been. Never will be. Go away. Just go up to a real Spitfire, paint it that color, and it looks like it's from a.
I'll tell you what. Get the ammo.
Navy colors.
Yeah, get the ammo set. Get the ammo MiG ammo RAF set.
Or the Hataka set.
One here.
But you can do slate gray and dark sea gray, and then do shadow on the lower wing for. That's nice.
That's just mixing it up.
Got the Humbrol paint here.
No, that's a sea gladiator scheme. They flew, and yeah, that's quite nice.
No, I don't have a sea gladiator. I love the gladiator.
I gave it a hook from one of my swordfishes.
Oh my word! I don't believe it. I've got an aqua gloss, Outclad aqua gloss in this one. Let's have a look.
Don't shake it.
Don't shake it.
Shake it.
Let's have a look. What does it say?
Do it.
Peer pressure.
You know you want to shake it.
It says here. Hang on a minute. Do not thin. Do not shake. Do not allow to dry inside the airbrush. Apply 1 to 2 medium coats at 15 to 40 psi. Allow 6 hours to cure.
Bloody hell.
15 to 40.
15 to 40 psi.
That's a big range.
I'm gonna say
40 psi. Wow.
That means you need an industrial compressor to get them to go up to 40.
The original Outclad 2 varnish. Under license of Outclad 2 lacquers. Oh, I get it. So maybe I thought they bought the company. Maybe they just licensed it. I don't know. But can I just point out that my favourite bit in this box is the actual book. How to paint a WW World War II RAF early aircraft. Some of the stuff in here. Some of the pictures.
Put paint in airbrush and paint. There we go. Done.
There you go. Honestly, some of the techniques and everything's fantastic. They got metal acrylic in this one as well. Got everything in this kit, to be fair. Got a panel line wash, neutral brown. Whoops, what was just pressed? Got a filter, brown for dark green filter. Never used filter. So what does filter do?
It filters.
Modulates the colour on it.
Yeah.
How would you use it? Just put it on top, would you? After you colour it, you just put it on top. Ah. Used to change the tone of some panels. Fair enough. Yeah, the shaders are quite good. I've used the shaders before. But yeah, you basically get a range of acrylic colours. Desert sand, matte black, medium brown, dark earth, interior green, sky type S, duck egg green, dark green steel. Oh, steel. A transparator? What's that for?
A what?
MIG transparator. Used to thin down acrylic paints.
So medium.
So medium.
Thinner.
Yeah, thinner.
Fucking hell, why did they call it that then?
Transparent. Sounds cool, Moss. And expensive. They can charge you more for it.
I bet they do as well. Mind you, this set wasn't expensive, to be fair.
Only 800 quid.
Yeah, but you got it free, didn't you, for reviewing it? So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got it free for reviewing it. Yeah,
he got it free with that Humbrol 3D printer.
He'll be selling us his bloody transparators soon.
Yeah, that's good. The shader's quite good. I've used the shader. That's quite a good little thing to have on board.
I dropped one of those rivets and somehow found it in the carpet.
Yeah.
You found one.
I found one that I dropped in the carpet, and I don't know how to feel about that.
You should feel good.
Yeah, I should go get a lottery ticket after that.
Well, you spent all your luck, so probably not.
And it comes with. You can tell this was bought during COVID because it came with a free ammo shark face mask in this kit. But yeah, honestly, it's a phenomenal book, that solution book from them boys. It's very good. But yeah, that was the solution box.
Oh, I like the mask.
Pardon?
I like the mask. That's good.
John, you're on mute, mate, if you're trying to talk.
It's better on
talking.
I was honestly with John and Welly.
I've got to start learning lip reading.
I was
What's that,
I was
Anfield?
on Kits and Bits on Friday night.
Yeah.
Quite a good
Yeah, Lee was
stream, actually.
on. We hang out over on Kits and Bits on Friday night.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Johan's there. Fenris is there.
Yeah.
James is there, and Lee. And, yeah, we just hang out. And,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being out there.
I'm normally gigging on a Friday night, so I can't.
Yeah,
attend.
I drop by when I can, but I mean it's Friday. I'm either in the pub or in a bar somewhere.
Right.
Playing or drinking.
I understand.
What's a social life?
Yeah.
Hey, Sully, have you got kids?
No, fuck no, Jesus Christ.
No excuse then. Go on, get to the pub.
Unfortunately, a whole bunch of stuff goes out on model kit stuff. The model shed, the PE Ninja. He comes out at 8 o'clock your time, and then model kit stuff is at 4. But I'm usually on that on the stream over there, Kits and Bits. So.
Oh, it makes paint transparent. Oh, I see. Yeah. So if you want to do like red, then you would add transparent stuff to it, and it would make it a transparency red. I get that. Fair enough. When I first saw it, I thought it was some way of gluing. That's about putting canopies on, which is something which I think Airfix have got sorted. I want Airfix to get the canopies that's in the latest starter sets, whether it's the Lightning or that Spitfire, where it's like. It just clicks in position. Why can't they bring that to other kits? It is on. Once it's in, you don't know whether that's glued in or clipped in. But if it's just clipped in, and that's the future of canopies, then you'll never worry about getting dirt inside the canopy once you've sealed it up. Never will again.
The F-35 canopy, though, it's is that one piece?
One piece.
I could see there being value too, and if you do that, you can always swap it out if you want to do an open canopy, closed canopy, all that kind of stuff too. Where,
I'm just saying that even on the Spitfire Mark 5C, you just put a tiny bit of cement at the back into position, so you click it in the front and the back, little tiniest bit of cement, and you never see it again. Bomb, it's done. And that's what I mean. That canopy for that F-35B. And it goes in, and you hear it click, and that's it. And the join around it, between the fuselage and the canopy is fucking pucker. And when I went to Model Club and I pulled it off so they could see inside, and I pulled it off so they could see inside. I wish they do that. I really do wish they do that. It'd be fantastic things, But that's all in our podcast, isn't it? When it will go out tomorrow, which will be good. Nothing much else happening in the stream, but look, I think the only other thing about say about paint is that we've got either hairy stick or you're an airbrush. You either use Tamiya Vallejo for airbrushing and everything else.
For everything.
Humbro for handbrush. I don't know. I was going to do a video on it. I've even gone out this week and I've ordered these little 5 milliliter pots. And I was wondering if Airfix put them in here with 3 ml, and then you could add your milliliter of water to that and mix it in there, and then it seals up. And that could be your Humbro paint pot. But It looks like they've already sussed it, I think. This one's been in here now a week. That's another Umbro Black. And that's the whole lot in here. Added a little bit of water to it because it was a little bit thing. But that's actually mixed perfect. And now, as you can see, I know there's a camera there. That's ready to use to brush on.
Can I chuck in a maybe controversial opinion?
No, you can't. Anyway,
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, it's never controversial from you.
Stoke the fire.
Stoke the fire.
The Airfix starter sets don't need good quality paints. They need paints that physically work and are not solid. They need just paints that physically work in with a kit so that you can buy it and you can paint it. And the only other thing you can then put in there is a flyer or something that takes you to the Humbrol website if the two brands are linked and are, being friendly and happy, and Airfix doesn't just release their own paint range.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just need to work. And at the moment,
they fail at that. So, yeah.
But I like to think, we were talking actually because they on the I shared it with Dale. I did it on the website on the video. I said that on the front it says where is it? It says 8 acrylic paints, but on this side it says 6.
The 2 of them fell out when you turned the box around.
Yeah. It says 6 there. It says 8 there.
And they show 8 on both, right?
Yeah.
So it says 6 acrylics above 8 paints.
Yeah. And the other
Yeah.
is that the decal sheet doesn't match up with the call out. That decal sheet where you're supposed to, the call out sheet, it doesn't match with the decals.
I hope they've not hired somebody from KP recently.
Yeah. I've got it in here. I don't know what I've done with it. But the decal sheet is wrong in that kit. So, but it's not that many decals anyway. You can work it out. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but little things to please little minds. So, it just gives people ammunition, doesn't it? That's the problem. It gives people ammunition.
Yeah.
I am a Airfix fanboy. I've always have been. I always been building them since I was a kid. So there's that nostalgia with it. Because today I found in my stash is it Magister that they did?
Yeah, the Fuga.
Did you see the pictures I put up?
Yeah.
Honestly, it looked a really nice kit, even though it was very lacking in detail. But oh, hang on, here you go, Joseph Svizia, if they say it. I'm an ex-KP employee,
and I love KP very, very much, but the instructions and the decals are garbage.
Yes, he told us the story about trumpeter pinching.
But also
Colour call-outs.
Talking about starter set paints, Revel have the same problem as Airfix do. I've had kits with hard painting. Do you think it's because you've got 3 milliliter of paint in a little pot? If you had a lot of paint, it wouldn't go off as quick, would it?
No.
No, is that right? If you had a bigger pot, you would have had, But I noticed it's Hella, because Hella do their own range of paint now, don't they? When you buy their starter set, they give you a massive pot of it, don't they? Is it 10 mil or 14 mil, Matt, that they give you in a Hella kit?
Good question. Let me have a look. It is 12.
12, is it?
Yeah, well, when it's in one of the proper pots, it's 12. When it's in one of the ones like the Humbrol one, I don't know because it doesn't say.
3 mil. 3 mil's a little one. 3 mil's a little one. Yeah, so you got 3 mil, and then Tamiya is only 10. You see the size of the pot. There's only 10 mil in there, but then you've got enough space in there to add your thinners and everything because you go up to the line, don't you? Go to there, you go up to the line, don't you? The inside line. Then that's it mixed, and it will go through your airbrush perfectly every time. Not a problem. There you go. The Flying Dutchman says, if you want your skills built, KP, great. No, if you want to up your skill builds. If you want to up your skills build, KP, great stuff. I'll get there in the air. He's actually. I'm working in AZ model 12 years and RS model for 1.5 years too. Oh, what are you? Are you a designer then, Joseph? Is that what you do?
And they're all good brands. They all make interesting models. That is fine. Doesn't mean the instructions always make sense.
Joseph, we need a decent bear cat. In 172 scale.
Did anybody have a timer going? Was that the fastest that's come out?
I think it's the longest.
Well, he was still waiting.
Well, I think Matt wants a decent moth.
All of them, please.
All of them, yeah.
What I actually want is, considering that Airfix made a wonderful 172nd Tiger Moth, and I believe the 48th one is good as well, but I haven't made it yet. What about the DH-60, which was an equally important aircraft in history? And okay, maybe not as famous, but they've already got half of it because they've got the fuselage.
That's a good shout.
They won't do it because it's annoyingly not famous enough, despite the fact that at one point 85% of every civil registered aircraft in Britain was a bloody Moth. They still won't make it. But that's what I'd like to see.
I'd like to see the de Havilland Butterfly. That'd be a good one as well, wouldn't it?
I'd like to see the Avro 504 4K.
Yeah.
Let's just send all of these to Dale, all at the same time. Just never ending.
We had a chat once, and they were talking about there was a prototype plane that looked like a Spitfire that never made it.
Spiteful,
was it?
I think.
It was Spiteful. Yeah, that'll be a good one if they could do that one.
Oh.
But then again, like I'm saying, why don't Airfix look at this new spaceship or starship that Tesla built or SpaceX are building? Why don't they just look at it, take a few pictures, and create a space rocket that looks similar to that Tesla or that SpaceX rocket, and then just put it out there and call it Starship? Because Starship isn't trademarked. I think you just call it Starship. That's what I have to do. Don't mention SpaceX in it.
I don't think Tesla or SpaceX would be happy with Airfix going around. And
who cares?
If they well, how are you going to get access to it?
Doesn't matter. Just take it from a picture.
Just vague pictures.
Take it from a picture. Airfix.
And then people would probably moan.
How many kits did Airfix
but if you change it up, it's not a 1-to-1, right? You're making your own kit. So you can just use a basic picture.
We're going down the road and see Tamiya release a kit where they haven't got any a licensing agreement with anyone for.
No.
And how many kits have Airfix produced over the years that they've just gone for prototype drawings and put it out there?
Yeah, but then people complain, especially these days.
Nobody complained about Gecko Models bringing out their own KT.
No, I mean they'll complain about things being based on prototype drawings because
they never did back then. No,
well, then they don't have to buy it.
You don't have to buy it. But I would like to see more space. I like them to do futuristic. That's what I like. I want to, we did it back in the day. And Airfix have done that before. They've done Jerry Anderson models. They've done prototype Concords and TSR. We'd love to see that one. I've got a few predictions.
Oh no!
I think
Stradamus is back.
I've got his been at his tea leaves again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
been on the magic stuff again.
I think there's a lot of call for Airfix to either release that TSR as a vintage classic or retool it. Retool it. I really do. Or there's and I also think Airfix Concorde, they don't have a 1/72 scale Concorde in their range. They used to use Heller's tooling. I think they're going to retool a Concorde this year or next year. Yes, Paul Price is right. The Angel Interceptor That's one kit.
Oh, yeah.
I've always said if I see that for sale at a good price at a model show, I would buy it. But every single one I've seen at the high price, the decal sheet hasn't been too great. So, but like I'm saying, you know, why don't Airfix just go outside the realm a little bit and do a space rocket and just call it Starship? You call it Starship, Airfix Starship, in 1 to 144th scale, and then just let it run and just see how many people buy it because it's space. Because there is no new tools of space stuff. You know, I remember years ago building stuff that weren't even going to, into, you know, the Revel space shuttle was created and is still being released now as either Columbia or Discovery or whatever it is now, and they built that before it even took flight. It was done in 1970 before. That's right, isn't it? 1970.
Yeah.
And we did it as a podcast, didn't we? And we realised that the space shuttle that they produce now is one that they produced it before they even launched it.
It's based on the shuttle
Enterprise.
based on the Enterprise.
Yeah,
the Enterprise.
But I bet that's not licensed, is it? I bet the NASA bit's licensed, but I don't suppose the actual. But then would they need to license it because it's the government thing? So, Stuart Templeton, I've never understood the attraction of a TSR2. The attraction is because it should have been. That's the attraction. We should have had it.
Yeah, certainly not
And
the
it's
looks.
beautiful.
No.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Zizan was the Airfix TSR2 doesn't need retooling. One might add more detailed cockpit options for open auxiliary air takes and more detailed exhaust. Original castings assemble very well. Fair enough. But I know why just they released that from tooling. They didn't they didn't do that from a model, did they? I just think if you think it's got to be 3D scanned, no, it doesn't.
With a TSR2, there's no drawing. They can't use any drawings because they were destroyed. I believe they were all destroyed.
Were they all destroyed? Were they?
Sully nicked them.
Sully's got them.
Sully finished them. Yeah.
Way before I was born, I managed to get in there. And tea leaf.
See how much he did for it. Commitment.
I did it all for a bird's nest.
A bird's nest. Yeah. But I just think sometimes these model companies need to fall outside the box and just go for it. And I reckon they'll be. But who am I? You know, I bet they do their marketing research to see what people are looking at. I bet, I reckon they go through and they look for a model and go, what could we put in the Vintage Classic range this week? Oh, I know. Oh, that kit there, that's selling quite a lot for 20 quid. We can do that for $6.99 with a new decal sheet.
I know, a dog shit roosted bloody buffalo. That will sell.
Yeah. I've ordered that. I've ordered all the new releases, to be fair.
Well,
Airfix have just brought out a new Wildcat with new schemes, haven't they? That's one of the worst, honestly. That whoever designed or engineered that tooling needs their ass slapped. To do the undercarriage so far early into the build is just stupid.
There's not really much choice with a Wildcat, to be honest.
Oh, there is. There's plenty of kits out there that you can just put. I saw one guy who did it separately. They realized he couldn't get it to fit, and he made the bugger fit. So, yeah, it's weird that having to do the undercarriage so far in the build.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Skill issue, definitely.
Always right fit.
Skill issue.
Right fit.
More blaming the kit.
Yeah. So anyway, my prediction is they're going to release a Beetle next year. They're going to release a Concorde, and what else do you reckon? I've just put pictures up of that
Spruce Goose starter set.
Yeah.
Yeah, 170 seconds.
Only 8 engines.
That I hear on the grapevine that bomb bug might be out in July.
Oh. I was walking back to work one lunchtime, and an actual Bond bug drove past me.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
Actually, I took pictures the other day of the beach buggy. You know, there's a guy who's got one in. Well, not in. So he sends it down here to get repaired. Beautiful chromed up piece it is, but it's pink, not orange.
Pink.
Oh, pink.
Pink. That says it. Oh God.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there we go. It's
Barbie buggy.
a Barbie bug. Yeah. But the guy who owns it's called Ken. Which is not true because Barbie never went with Ken, did he? It was Cindy who was with Ken, wasn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was platonic.
No idea.
I'm not into that story. You're more into that one.
Yeah, it's not really a nice thing.
Oh, shut up, you. Everyone who had a sister knew. Everyone who had a sister knew. Because my sister didn't have a Ken. She used to nick my Action Man figure to go and play with Barbie.
Yeah.
Is that the same with you?
Yeah, Action Man got all the action.
Yeah,
That's why it's called Action Man.
yeah. That's the best thing about Team America, isn't it?
Barbie
I
used
was
like
watching
the
that
Action
thing because
Man
I used to
super
do
quick
that with
hands.
my models, with my Action Man. Oh, brilliant. Anyway, it's been 2 hours of fun, pleasure, and scale modelling.
Really? What channel was that on?
Tonight. I said that quickly, didn't I? Just one quick question. Last question for the night. Do any of you guys have any advice on spares? I bought a bow fighter to build as my great uncle was killed in one. It had a propeller missing. Airfix are basically fobbing me off. If you bought it and you got the receipt, I would continue to press the issue by emailing the website, which I did have here, and I don't know what I've done with it now. It's let me just quickly look.
I was gonna say, like, Airfix Spares has been some of the best spare divisions I've had to deal with. But if you're buying a kit like third party or like off of eBay or something, and then you contact them, like there's not much they
If
can
you
do.
give them the batch number on the back, you can get a propeller.
I would.
Go on.
I was going to say I would suggest, but you didn't hear this from me. If you didn't buy it from Airfix, buy one from Airfix and then use that batch number and then sell one of them on eBay when you're done, minus propeller if you need to.
But if it's fobbing you off and it is missing one, they do. If you
They're
contact
probably
them,
watching right now.
yeah, they're watching all the time. You won't
You
get your
didn't hear
invite
that from me.
now. You won't get your invite now.
I've never done that. Just for the record, I just hear people would do that. That's all.
Is that what you've heard? Is it?
Yeah, that's what.
And that's how you get those free kits, right?
That's harsh.
I've genuinely never had to. Well, no, I've only once had to contact Airfix for a spare part, and they sent the entire sprue.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They did the same for me with my Sea King.
Yeah.
I had a part missing.
Oh, wow.
This was quite early on into Hornby Onion. It was probably about 2007, 2008. The customer service was, like, the actual service delivered was fine. It was just, the response to my email was just, like 3 words. I was like, send address, please. Like, what? Okay.
just quickly, while I put it up here. You need that. Where was it? There's a sticker on every box. That's called the batch number. That there is the batch number. You need to send them that, and the one that you need is technicalservices.uk@airfix.com. Tell them where you bought it. Give them the back. Take pictures of the sprue with the missing propeller. So if you've started the build, then there's no point. This is why I advise everyone when you get your kit, the first thing you do is check every sprue. Just check it all. Take pictures of that missing part. If it's with the sprue gates and everything, the sprue trees and everything, and then email them with the pictures of the missing part, where you bought it from, and the batch number on the back. You'll take a picture of the little sticker on the back. And I've never had a problem. And I know people say, because they're your Moz. Yeah, I do get that. I understand that. But before I was even talking to Airfix, they were always good to me. With that Concorde, I lost a wheel on the Concorde that didn't arrive. Sent me straight out the bits I needed free of charge. But also, if you do lose a part and they've got it in stock, you can buy that extra part. But how can you take a part of that's missing? I'm talking take the part of the sprue tree where the part is missing. So when you first build, when you start to build, just take it all out of the bags, lay it down, and check it through. And as soon as you find something missing, because you know when it's missing, because there'll be a number and a sprue gate there. With the part missing, it's not over. And then you take a picture of that, and away you go. So, but yeah, like I said, Jacob Dedman said the same. I've got multiple spares from Airfix, and they're really good. There's lots of useful info on the website that says the exact info you need to email them.
And even if you've started your build, because twice when I've had to reach out to them, I had already started the build, and I told them, and they still sent the part out.
Yeah. Yep. But I'm just saying, 9 times out of 10, my advice is just build it. Just take it out of the box. Look, have a visual. You should be reading the instructions all the way through anyway. Top tip from Moz. Always go, even if you're not sure, just read through the instructions right the way through. And then look at the sprues and everything, make sure it's all there. Check your decals, and then start building. You know?
Yeah, and
that's
after you've built, then save all the spare parts that you have, because sometimes in those boxes of spare parts you can use something if something's missing in another kit.
Exactly. Anyways, it's 1 minute past 10. Again, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for watching from whichever channel you're watching from, whether it's Sully's. Who else have we got up here who's sharing tonight? We've got Fenris is sharing, and also Alex is sharing, and Sully's sharing this stream. So all those members of the chat who are watching, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to everyone here in the chat as well. It's really good to pay it forward. And hopefully you've enjoyed tonight, and we will see you next Monday. Have a good rest of your week, folks, and keep supporting us in the best way you can. Take care all, and goodbye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.